Why do we watch movies when we know they're lying? Not about explosions, not about superheroes, but about something way smaller and way more personal. The idea that someone will notice you, that someone will take an interest in you, see something in you, and decide you're worth their time. Movies are really full of this. The mentor who sees your hidden potential, the teacher who gives you special attention, the therapist who cares more about you than their job, the powerful person that picks you out of a crowd and says, "You matter." And we accept it. We don't question it. But why? Why do we believe this version of reality when most of us have never really actually experienced it? Because if you look at real life, most people are busy. Most people are struggling. Most people are simply thinking about themselves. And if you're struggling, you usually struggle quietly, not because you're weak, but because no one is really stepping in. There's a pattern behind this. Let's call it the unrealistic investment. It's when someone gives you time, attention, and belief far beyond what really makes sense. And once you start looking for it, it is everywhere. Think of Spider-Man. In Spider-Man Homecoming, Tony Stark doesn't just recruit Peter Parker, he mentors him, he checks up on him, he builds him a custom suit, he pays attention to him, a billionaire Avenger, spending time on one random kid. I mean, that's not really how people operate. In The Matrix, Morpheus believes in Neo completely. There's no proof, there's no backup plan, it's just belief. In a world where the stakes are humanity itself, he bets everything on a single person. In The Dark Knight, the Joker doesn't just cause chaos. He becomes obsessed with Batman. He designs everything around him, fixates on him. In a city of millions, he chooses just one man to matter. In Doctor Strange, the Ancient One takes a special interest in Strange, a reckless and arrogant outsider, and instead of filtering him out, she invests in him. And these are just the obvious ones. You'll see it in smaller movies too. Good Will Hunting, for instance, the therapist who cares too much, or Dead Poets Society, both oddly with Robin Williams, a teacher who changes everything for his students. These stories feel different, more grounded, more real, but they're built on the same idea, that someone sees you and decides you're worth investing in. Not because it benefits them, not because it's required, just because. But real life really doesn't work that way, does it? People don't have that kind of time. They have jobs, responsibilities, limits on what they can do. Attention is expensive, time is expensive, and most people are already stretched thin. So when you're struggling, you don't get a mentor, you don't get a speech, you don't get someone to show up to fix it. You mostly just deal with it on your own. And that doesn't mean people are necessarily evil, it just means they're preoccupied, and movies simplify this idea. They remove everything that gets in the way, time, risk, competing priorities. They create a world where someone can just choose you. There's a line of thinking, especially if you watched Adaptation, that real life is kind of uneventful. It's messy, unstructured, often going unnoticed. But movies can't work like that, so they invent meaning. They assign importance. They take one person and make the entire world revolve around them. But in reality, no one's watching that closely. No one's waiting to step in, and most of the time, unfortunately, no one's coming. And that's not really inspiring. It's not cinematic, but it is honest, because it means something else. If anything happens in your life, it probably won't be because someone chose you. It'll be because you kept going without that moment of inspiration. Movies tell us that someone will notice, that someone will care enough to change everything in our lives. But real life isn't being about chosen. It's about what happens when you're not. But I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this video, if I should do more analysis like this, or if I should just shut the fuck up. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video more than you didn't, and we'll see you next time.